Hey, what's going on, guys? This is Ghost. Welcome back to another video. So just because a lot of you have been checking out my videos and asking me about what my controller settings, what my graphics and whatnot, I just wanted to go ahead and give you kind of a quick look about what I have set up already. Just walk you through the thought process that I had when I set up my controller settings. Keep in mind that I have a PS5 and I don't have any mouse or keyboard. So everything here is going to be related to console settings. And without further ado, let's get started. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started with the controller settings, and we're going to start with accessibility. So for menu narration, obviously this is off, subtitle is off. The master volume, I have it at 70. The tinnitus volume or effects volume, it will have it at 0, and this is obviously you don't want it at 100 or any value other than 0. And for graphics, for color profiles, I would change only 3 colors here that would really matter most for you guys, and I would kind of change the friendly color, the quiet color, and the enemy color. The way to change these is just you have to click on the color and kind of play with it here and choose the highest or the brightest color that you can, and that will give you a better visibility of enemy or friendly or squad players on in the map. And that's pretty much it for the colors. We're gonna go ahead for the world brightness. I have it at 40, and I found this is way better than 50 or 55, which a lot of people use it at 55 or 50, but I think 40 is way better in terms of seeing enemies in very bright maps and whatnot. For the camera effect, we have the world motion blur at 0, weapon motion blur at 0, and we have infantry HUD motion off, camera shake mount at 50, and we have the reduced sprint camera bobbing on. Just make sure you keep this one on. Everything here in this window, it will be off. Moving on to controls, and here I will tell you about only a few things, but the rest of them or most of them are completely up to you and personal preference. Infantry sprint at toggle, I have double tap forward to sprint, I have it at off. Stick forward sprint, I have it off as well. Crouch toggle sprint, I have it at stand. Vehicle boost, which is not something really, you see it all the time, but if you have it, then I would have it on hold. My crouch slide is at all, and for double tap crouch for sprint slide, I have this one at off. Infantry weapon zoom hold, vehicle weapon zoom obviously hold, and steady scope hold. Interact and reload, I have it at prioritize interact, and I think this is way better than prioritize reload. Skip revive, I have it on hold because I don't want to accidentally skip revive by just clicking on the button. At least for me, I would prefer it to be on hold, so kind of wait for any medics around. Request revive, we have it on toggle because you want to click on that button to request revives as many as you can. For mountain breakout, this, it would be kind of instant. You don't want to kind of hold a button to come out of a mounting weapon. Next, we have the controller, and we're going to do this more in the controller settings, but we can just go over them really quick. The controller vibrations, we have it at off obviously, and vibration intensity comes to 0. Vibration settings, we don't need to check on this one. Adaptive triggers weapon fire at 0, adaptive trigger weapon zoom at 0, and motion sensor, we have it enabled. Going down the list, play incoming text chat as a speech, I have it off obviously. I don't want that. I don't think you want that as well. Convert incoming video or voice to text chat, that would be off as well. Tutorials off, in-game tutorials off, and we have the hints. I have the vehicle control hints are on. Everything else would be off. I don't want any hints to tell me what to do because I know what to do in terms of pinging or peeking and mounting a weapon. Moving on to gameplay, invert all vertical look, I have it at custom. Basically everything is I'm going to show you why do I have it on custom. If you come here to vertical look settings, you click on it, I have everything off except for the invert vertical flight aircraft, I have it on. Hold toggle, we did this one earlier, and for the capture area outline, I have it on. This would show you the objectives. You would have a line around them. If you turn it off, the line would disappear, which in my opinion doesn't make any sense to have the line not showing for you to capture an objective or not. So I would have it at on. We have another hints over here, show HUD prompts, I have it on. Vehicle control hints, I have it on as well. Vehicle control hints size, I have it at small. Action prompt off, and ping hints off, like we talked about earlier. For infantry and aim sensitivity, all of this, we're going to be talking about it when we get to controllers. So this is just to repeat. We don't need to, kind of visit it over here. Next one would be HUD. This is kind of a new tab added probably 2 months ago or a month and a half ago after an update. Show HUD, of course, would be on. Infantry HUD motion would be off. Vehicle HUD motion would be off. Horizontal HUD padding, I have it at 0. Show soldier overlays, I have it off. Vehicle overlays off, and outline on friendly targeted soldiers off. And these are completely personal preference. I mean, if you want to turn them on, of course, feel free. But I would turn them on, go in a game, kind of see how they look like before, kind of be stuck with them. The SOVIS filter, I have it on. This gives you better visibility of enemy players. So by default, or this is a no-brainer, we'll have it on. Advanced HUD and icon settings are a lot. I'm gonna go over them really quickly. Feel free if you want to copy some of them. A lot of people have been asking me why some icons and colors are brighter than others. And this is the reason why, because I customize pretty much everything in here. So if we go there, we're going to start from the top. Big map capacity, we have it at 85%. Kill feed, show kills made by none. Kill feed icons on. Ping notification multiplier off. Ping notification other on. So basically, you don't want to see any notifications on your right side of your screen when you're playing. That's basically what this is for. Show resources off, show loot on, show game mode event on. Simplified squad list, I have it at off. Tank HUD color, I have it orange. Jet HUD color, I have it at green. Helicopter HUD color, I have it at yellow. Icons and indicators, I have the icon intensity at 24. Vehicle icon intensity at 45. Objective icon scale 80%. Objective icon opacity at 60%. Objective icons opacity while zoomed is at 20. And objective icons opacity occluded, it's at 40. This is basically so you don't have the objective icon kind of occluding your visual field or your aim when you're trying to look at enemy players around it. Friendly icons scale at 80, friendly icon opacity at 100%, icon opacity zoomed at 65, revive icon scale at 80, revive icons opacity at 100, and revive icon opacity while zoomed at 65. Squad icons scale at 90, squad icon opacity at 100, squad icon opacity while zoomed 65, and revive icon scale at 80, squad revive icons opacity at 100, and squad revive icon opacity zoomed at 65. Enemy icon scale at 100, enemy icon opacity at 100, and enemy icon opacity while zoomed at 100. You want to keep all of these at 100 at all times. Neutral icon 100, a neutral icon opacity at 100 as well. Neutral icon opacity while zoomed at 65. Ping markers, icon scale at 80 and icon opacity at 100. Marker icon opacity while zoomed at 65. Aim based icons opacity peripheral zoom size at 80. Icon opacity scaling center scale is at 10. Icon opacity peripheral at 100. Icons opacity central at 30. Icon opacity peripheral zone size at 80, icons opacity scaling center scale at 10, and then the peripheral while zoomed at 50, and we have the icon opacity central at zoomed at 10. Next would be the minimap. I have it at large, minimap background opacity at 80, cone opacity at 15, and cone edge opacity at 40. View rotation on, interior zoom at off, view distance on foot 160, view distance on ground vehicle 250, view distance in air would be 300. Infantry compass, we have it on, compass and red tick, we have it on as well. The opacity of the compass is 100, display spotted enemies are on. Now moving on to crosshair. The crosshair opacity would be 100. Crosshair intensity is 100 as well. Crosshair color would be bright green for me. Crosshair thickness, I have it at thick. And you can change these, but I would go with thick to be, so you can have an idea of what your crosshair is. Infantry crosshair projection, I have it at off. Hit indicators. So the hit indicator opacity, I have it at 100. Hit indicator intensity, I have it at 80. Hit color white, headshot color green. Kill color is red. Armor soft hit color is light blue. And armor hard hit color, will have it at purple. Armor broken hit indicator, I have it on. Hit indicator numbers, I have the hit indicator number enabled, of course, and we have the indicator number opacity at 100, and hit indicator number size, we have it at small. So this is the number that shows when you make a hit. It tells you the amount of damage, of course, and if you want it, this as small would be the smallest that you have, and if you want it bigger to see how much damage you're making, you can, of course, adjust this the way you like it. Hit indicator number horizontal offset, we have it at 10. Hit indicator number of vertical offset, we have it at 50. This is just the location of the hit indicator on your screen. Infantry damage color would be red and vehicle damage color would be white. And we have the chat visibility, I have it on hide, and the settings and the visibility, it's totally up to you. Now let's get to the real juicy stuff, to the controller settings. So let's go ahead and edit settings and we're going to start with the controller settings here. Okay, so infantry aim sensitivity, I have it at 60. I usually play with high sensitivity, but it's up to you if you want to go down. If you're not very good at high sensitivity, then I would say the sweet spot for you would be between 45 and 55. More toward like the 50s and higher 40s. And the vertical look infantry would be off, of course. My field of view would be 120. It's up to you if you want to go down just a little bit like to 110, but I like it at 120. It gives me that a good recoil control, which is kind of like perceived recoil control that is better than, you know, lower FOVs. Vertical aim ratio, I have it at 56. This has been changed multiple times, and I think 56 is the sweet spot. If I was you, I would keep it at 56 and don't change that much in it. Vertical zoom ratio, I have it at 75. And also this one is sort of a standard, not completely standard, but I would keep it at 75 as well. Uniform infantry aiming, I have it off. You might want to turn it on if you want, but it's up to you. If you can follow these settings exactly and turn it off and continue like doing it the same way that I have it. But if you have it on, a lot of things will be adjusted for you. You don't need to do. But before you turn it off, you know, I would keep it on for now, because when it's on, you will have the zoom sensitivity coefficient at, you know, a certain number here. I would change this and make it 178. And then I will go back and turn it back off. Infantry aim assist, I have it at 100, and infantry aim assist slowdown at 100 as well. So the aim assist, this is, you know, you want to take advantage of whatever aim assist the game would give you, but you want to also keep the slowdown at 100. Both of these at 100 would work the best for you. That's from my personal experience. Infantry aim input curve, I have it at Battlefield 3. I think this is the best worked for me for the past 2 months. You can have it on standard, but I wouldn't go with dynamic. This is the only one that I would avoid, but standard is totally fine as well. Infantry zoom aim input curve, I have it at Battlefield 3 as well. Infantry stick input acceleration presets, I have them on standards. This is not that much of a big deal. I would keep it on standard if I was you. Infantry aim left/right acceleration, I have it at 70. So this number would change if you change the stick input acceleration preset, and basically 70 comes with the standard, so I would keep it at 70 for now. Moving forward to movement, infantry sprint, I have it at toggle. Double tap forward, we have it off, and stick forward sprint, we have it off. Sprint, we have the L3. Crouch, we have it on stand. And we talked about these earlier, but just, you know, go. Coming down to zoom, we have the infantry weapon zoom at hold, and the zoom we have at the L2 for me at least. Completely personal preference to you. Steady scope, I have it at hold. Steady scope, I have it at L2. Now coming down to infantry zoom aim sensitivity, this is 120. You might feel this might be a little bit too high for you, but I'm going to show you what 120 compared to 0 would look like. But basically what this means is, you know, the sensitivity or the speed between moving from one target to another while you're like aiming. So for 120, I have it like this right now. I can move between targets easily. This is actually very important, because if you want to like shoot in target right here and some other enemy like showing like on the other side, you can quickly move to that enemy and kind of start shooting at them as well. But if we slow down on this one, let's go ahead and switch it to a lower value so you can have an idea of what we're talking about. So let's do like, let's do 0 over here. I'm going to show you how the slowdown works. All right, so the lowest value would be 10. I'm going to show you if I want to move from one target to another. So let's say I'm aiming at this one. If I want to move to another target, I'm barely moving. I'm trying my best here in my controller, but I'm barely moving. So let's go ahead and put it back at 120 like we had it earlier. I know 120 might be a little bit too high, like I said, but you're not going to be using all 120. So 120 is a higher value than you might expect it to be, because we have the zoom aim sensitivity here are like lower rates. For example, here we have the zoom aim sensitivity 80% only at this zoom and this zoom and that zoom. So basically we're going to be using 80% of the 120. So it's not going to be 120 completely when you use scopes. And for these all the way down, I have it like at zoom 5 times zoom, and all the way up to 10 times zoom, I have it at 110. But the rest would be 80. Moving forward to parachute auto deploy, I have it at tethered only, interact and reload. We talked about this one, and it's a prioritized interact. Motion sensor settings, I did not really understand these that much, so I would have them on disabled for the sensor button, and motion sensor aiming mode, I have it at always. Flick look, I have it at always, that's the mode, and the infantry flick look threshold, I have it at 90, and this one I have it at 100. Now moving forward to, if we go back to controller settings, but we're gonna go all the way down to controller tuning, and we're gonna click on this one here. Controller vibration, we talked about it earlier, all of these mostly off, and then the controller left stick and right stick dead zones. This is completely personal preference, and you have to change them based on what kind of controller that you have. So you need to check and see if your controller sticks have any movement or drift, and if you do, then I would come back here and change the center dead zone or the axial dead zone. Change the values a little bit until you get rid of that drift completely, because that would, you know, kind of mess up your aiming and your zoom. This is also true, like if you're like in a match and you try to spawn in, but you have the map pulled up and you kind of see your cursor moving around, that means that you have a drift. And then I would come here and kind of change things around for your cursor to kind of be stuck in one spot and don't move freely. L2 and R2 buttons, I have the L2 dead zone at 0 and the max input threshold at 100, and the R2 dead zone, I have it at 0 and the R2 max input threshold at 100 as well. Going over vehicle settings quickly, the controller settings for the vehicles, if you change the sensitivity here, this will change it across all vehicles. So for me, I have the vehicle aim sensitivity at 35. The vertical looks will be off for most of them except for the aircraft. And the vehicle third person field of view would be 80. Tank aim sensitivity, I have it at 60. I have the gunner at 55, and the vertical aim ratio, I have it at 56. For uniform vehicle aiming, I have it on, and the sensitivity coefficient, I have it at 178. And the vehicle aim input curve, I have it at standard. Vehicle stick input acceleration preset, I have it at standard as well. Vehicle aim left/right acceleration, I have it at 70. And this one comes with the standard. If you choose different than standard, then the number here will be different. Vehicle aim assist at 100, and vehicle aim assist slowdown, I have it at 90. Decouple tank turret aiming from turning, this one we have it at on. Vehicle aim relative controls, we have it off, and vehicle boost, we have it at hold. Invert vertical flight aircraft on. Invert vertical look aircraft, we have it off. Aircraft control sensitivity, I have it at 100. Keep in mind, this is different than aiming. Third person aircraft camera roll, I have it on. It's up to you, you can turn it off, it's not a big deal. Vehicle aim sensitivity 35, because we chose it for all vehicles to be 35, and this one is 80 as well. Aim ratio would be 56, and these are basically the same as for the tank or the ground vehicles. For helicopter settings, for the control assist, I have it at off. Control sensitivity, I have it at 100, and then we have the vertical flight aircraft, I have it on. And for the invert vertical look, I have it off. And of course, these are the same, 35, 80, and this one is 55, and this one is 56, and coefficient 178. The input curves continue to be the standard, and the acceleration would be 70. Moving on to graphics. Some of these we talked about, and some of them are not, were not shown earlier. So let's go ahead and visit them very quick. This one, I would keep it always at auto for performance instead of the balance. And the world brightness would be 40, UI brightness at 50, sharpness would be 75. For these, we visited most of them. Field of view at 120, and the third person field of view would be 80. Weapon motion blur 0, world motion blur 0, at camera shake at 50, and the reduce sprint, we have it on. Moving on to audio, we have the master volume at 70, sound effects volume, we have it at 100. Music at 0, we have the menu music volume, we have it at 100. This is completely personal preference, of course. Commander voiceover volume, I have it at 60. Soldier and campaign, 100. UI volume, I have it at 100. Hit indicator, we have it on. Controller speaker volume, I have it at 100. For configuration, I have the sound system at 3D headphones. If you want to change this one to something different, in case if you don't have 3D headphones, then I would change it to stereo, which is the best. It's either stereo or the 3D headphones. Both of these are the best to hear like all footsteps around you. And this is after a lot of testing that I've done in the system and choosing different systems for the PS5. As far as the audio mix, I would go with the night mode. This mode is probably the best for footsteps because it will bring down all the ambient noise and keep the footsteps higher than they are. One other thing that I wanted to mention, if you want to keep it at the 3D headphones for the sound system, make sure that your headphones are set to 3D in your PS5 settings. The voice chat, this is completely up to you per personal preference. Okay, and that's pretty much it for the controller settings, guys. Let me show you just really quick how to what these controllers would translate into in terms of the movement and whatnot. So the movement is pretty smooth, and then turning from left to right is actually pretty quick and agile, not too snappy, but it's pretty good for moving your aim to a different target. And for ADS and aiming, it's actually pretty nice, and also for the aim assist as well. So I've been on these settings for the past 2 or 3 weeks at least, and they work really, really good. I wouldn't change the settings too often. If you change them based on these controller settings that I just gave you, I would stick with them for a few days, kind of get used to them, have that muscle memory about them, and then if you don't like them, you can change them, but I wouldn't change too often. But that's pretty much it, guys, for today. I hope this video will help you find the best controller settings for your game. If you find this video helpful, please hit that like button and subscribe. Everything from you guys will help the channel to grow. Until the next one, cheers and have a good day.